we all spent a lot of time together last week.
We have. I'm sick of looking at you.
Yeah. mutual. So this, and we apologize, this podcast is a little late than usual.
Yeah.
Because we were all on vacation.
We were at the beach.
And, well, we all hang out together because we're family, so.
Yeah. We didn't want to also bring everything to record.
No.
We brought enough stuff as it is.
Too much.
And by we, Jared means I did.
Yeah.
Because I always overpack.
Yep.
I do too.
I have to have options though.
I mean, I didn't have as much as you, but like I still, like, I feel like I bring, and you only use like a core of the stuff I bring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when did I bring all this stuff?
I'm like Costanza though with changing my outfits. It's like my moods change with my outfits. So I have to have options just in case I'm going to feel a certain way. I have to have this outfit with me. And then if I just never feel it that week, then I just don't wear it.
And then now you need to focus into soup mode.
Yeah, now we're getting into soup mode.
Yeah.
Well, soup mode was, you guys didn't go to soup
mode.
No,
we didn't.
Soup mode on the Ladle restaurant where we got a flight of soup.
A soup flight, people.
Yes. That was, and it was, it was a little overcast over there, so it was
good soup day.
Yeah. The vibe was right for soup.
So what was your favorite thing you did last week at the beach? What was the favorite moment?
Well, it wasn't the actual beach because it was.
So you guys didn't actually even
We went down once. That's it. And
it was miserable.
Yeah.
The wind was so strong.
Everything got destroyed.
Everything was destroyed
hurricane.
from the storm.
Yeah, but it's weird because it was like after the storm.
Yeah.
It's so, because I was down there on Tuesday and it was sunny and it wasn't windy and it was nice. And then Wednesday, which there was no storm. The storm was the weekend before we got there.
Yeah.
And yet Wednesday, then it was all of a sudden windy and there was like debris and crap destroyed all over the place.
Right. The red flags were up, so nobody was allowed to swim in the ocean.
And then
the only cool thing was that it washed up a bunch of cool seashells.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But that was it.
And then we got home and I'm like, it's hotter here.
It is hotter here
was
than it
Which
was
is
at the beach.
insane.
Nice. It was nicer here, yes.
Yeah.
Wild.
But yeah.
But it's okay because our pool was 100 degrees.
We got up to 100, yep. At
Like-
one
Did it get
point.
that high?
I think
It did.
so.
The
Maybe
steam was
99.
coming. I remember being in the pool one night and being like, I got to get out and take a break because
it
I'm
was
hot.
well, it was Friday
Never
night.
had
The
that
last
from a
It's not a pool. That's a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
it was a
really
giant
big hot tub.
Yeah, because the final night. Yeah, Friday night. I think it was up to 99.
It was very,
Yeah,
very
okay.
warm.
That was when it got. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I just, it's silly, but that bagel place is always, ever since
man.
we found that, though, I don't remember what
It
year.
was so good.
They're so
Every time we're
good.
there, it's, yeah.
Because they're like the perfect texture and consistency. Because a bagel, like, they can go either way. They can be like so tough to chew on, like even toasted. But these ones are just so, they're big, but they're soft.
Yeah. They remind me of like a New York style bagel that you get when you are in
With
New York
the
City.
schmear.
Yeah. And they don't do the schmear quite as thick though, because in New York you'll give you like a cake of
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
of schmear, but they remind me of that, like which are just the best bagels in the world,
Of course.
hands down. New York
Yeah.
City bagels.
Yeah.
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that style, which are like the best.
Yeah.
So,
They're fantastic.
so shout out to Lighthouse Bagels in Corolla,
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Corolla. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Not bad.
Nice. Well, welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh, and I have with me
Claudia.
And Jared.
I don't know why I said that with an attitude. Like my neck went out like when I said it.
and we're missing our fourth this week.
Yeah.
And Lucas is not with us this week, but
He's not with us anymore.
The
way you
Lucas
said it.
is no longer with us
The way you said it was.
right now.
currently.
He did not do the homework.
I wasn't going to throw him under the bus like that.
No, well, Claudia will.
Foot came out and just went.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today we're going to talk about Ahsoka season 1, episode 7. But before we do that, maybe a little bit of things we want to plug that maybe you're watching.
A little bit, yeah.
I know we were all on vacation, so there's not as much to talk about.
Didn't really
but
watch it, yeah.
Yeah.
I did watch on vacation with Mom. I watched the latest Jim Gaffigan stand-up.
Oh, okay.
That was actually really good. I mean, I like some of his in the past, but there's been some that I'm like, oh, these are not as good. And this one I think is one of the better ones. It's I don't remember the name of it. Something like Dark Pale, I think, or like that. Because he
Cool.
always had all these other ones with Pale in the
Right.
title, like Beyond the Pale, and
Yeah.
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 I was in the basement and I could hear Mom laughing
Yeah.
all the way.
Oh
like,
yeah.
all
From the
the way
top
to
three
floor.
floors
Yeah.
down.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's half the fun of watching that stuff with her is how
I know.
much she laughs.
Yeah.
Her laugh is hysterical.
It is.
We also watched the first episode of the Great British Baking Show because that's
Of
back.
Whatever season, 20.
Yeah, whatever
That was-
season.
20,000.
I don't know, but
That
I
was
can't
the
get enough
newest
of it. I
one?
love it. This is the first episode of the
Wow.
season. Yeah.
The new season. Yeah.
Cake Week.
Ooh.
It was very good. I missed Prue and Paul. They're the best. I love that show.
You missed the opening. You got to go back and watch the opening.
I did not see the opening.
They do a skit where they have
They do
the
skits. It's funny.
like for the intro,
Mm-hmm.
and it's The Godfather,
Oh yeah.
but it's not. It's the Dough Father. I think there's something about bread, and Paul's the one that's behind
Of
it.
course.
It's over the top cheesy, but also amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that for
Nice.
sure. Jared downloaded Survivor for me,
Oh yeah.
the newest season,
Mhm.
because I'm a big Survivor. Maybe that could be my corner, Survivor corner, because I freaking love. Like I'm in it. I've seen all the seasons.
Well, yeah, you could mention that now
Nice.
every week since it is back.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the first episode yet, so we'll have to get into that next time.
All right.
I'll catch up with like what has come out, and then I can update you guys
Yeah.
on what's going on.
Nice. Anything else? Been watching the morning show. Let me see the morning show. That's been good so far. I haven't
How-
watched the latest, but
Yeah. How much have you seen of it?
we watched 2 episodes.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
then
how
you're
far did we get in?
Yeah, because we're now watching together. So we only watched half of the first episode.
I was gonna say I don't think we even finished the
Nope.
first episode yet.
Now there's like 4 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to it. Yeah, because like I said, at least so far, I think it's way better than.
John Hamm always delivering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was part of the reason Claudia's like, okay, John Hamm's in it.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Did you watch the trailer for the new what's it called? The Argyle?
Oh,
She
I
did-
saw it.
Did you see it?
Oh,
was
I
gonna
saw it.
mention that to you.
Listen, if it's Henry Cavill, it's coming up on my For You page.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
like
true.
heavily I am
Yeah.
into that.
How do you feel about his hair
Actor.
in it, though?
I mean, it's obviously supposed to be like
Right.
kind of funny.
Right.
Still doing it
Doesn't
for me.
matter with
It's
him.
fine.
Yeah.
Could be bald.
He could be bald in it. Yeah. True. I was just wondering because I've never seen him have that, and I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a little cheesy, but it's supposed to be because it's a book,
Yes.
right? It's based off an author writing a book
Yeah.
series.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
he's-
Yeah.
They're the characters in the book.
Right.
They're not the real life. But
yeah.
but then at least in the trailer it looks like but somehow the stuff she's writing is helped the real spies catch people.
Right.
So they're like want her to write her next novel so they can solve.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. So it look good.
It does look good. Also, Dua Lipa is in it.
Dua Lipa is the girl that Henry
Like the
Cavill's
main-
like.
yeah.
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 Has she acted at all before?
She's in Barbie movie, which speaking of, I watched not
Most
all of the
of it.
Barbie movie. Could not stomach the whole thing.
But you watched
Really?
most of it.
Really. I watched most of it. I think there's probably a half an hour left of it before I was like, no, I can't do this.
I was planning on at least trying to watch it. Like I hadn't watched
Yeah.
it. But
There's definitely some really funny parts, and it's funny like being a girl that played with Barbies as a child, like the different Barbies that they feature from the past. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, I had that Barbie. I had that Barbie playhouse. I had that. They have like in one of the scenes the Barbie dog that poops little pellets. I totally had that dog, and the pellets look just like. I mean, it looks exactly like the dog. So like there's some really funny parts, and everybody that's playing their part is doing a really good job. But it's dumb. It's just dumb.
Well,
I'm sorry, guys.
speaking of John Hamm, also the new season of Fargo.
is he in that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't
Which
know that.
I want to say, I don't know if I got True Detective got pushed to next year, the new season, but
Yeah, but not like early next year.
yeah, that was supposed to come out kind of soon. But I'm trying to think if Fargo did also because I think a couple things along those lines got pushed.
Yeah, they're trying to space things out to fill the
Mhm.
gap that's going to happen
Yeah.
because of the writer's strike,
Yeah.
which is now over.
I was gonna say, do we want to mention that? It's
Yay.
like at least the writers
Yes.
one is over.
Yes.
But the actors are still.
Yeah.
That's still
But
going.
they'll I'm sure that'll probably end
Okay.
quickly thereafter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's good. Get things back and rolling.
I know.
So many productions got halted and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give me back my content.
because we don't have enough to watch it. I mean,
I don't.
I know, right?
My list is dwindling.
right now, right now we're mentioning how we barely even watched one episode or something.
Barely have time.
Yeah.
And I need more.
Yeah. Always need more content.
Feed me more, see more.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, we will not be having Anime Corner this week.
No.
Sorry. None of us are versed enough to take his place.
Yeah.
And I still haven't watched any more of One Piece.
Oh.
We haven't either.
So
Sorry.
But maybe Survivor Corner or whatever you want to call it next.
I'll have to
next
make a
time.
new graphic.
We got to think of like a name that's like
It could
related to
just be-
Survivor.
It could just be like reality, right?
could
Some
be-
kind of reality
Oh,
show.
no,
like-
how-
Claudia's Exile Island.
No,
Sure.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say Claudia's something, but like
Tribal Council.
or something. I was thinking a little something broader that
in case you
allow
do watch it.
doing
Yeah.
something else that wasn't just Survivor.
that wasn't just Survivor.
Mhm.
It's
But
like it would be
but-
like a reality TV
yeah,
thing.
that's what he
Yeah.
was like. But I was trying to think of a word that
Like
would
a good word. Yeah.
good word that would go well because
If you have any ideas, write in. Because
Yes.
that's we'll need help with
Yeah.
that name.
Because I mean, that's none of us are gonna watch any
No.
reality TV. So
But it's
that's
okay because
perfect.
I got you.
Yeah.
My reality TV peeps.
Yeah.
I got you.
Eventually, we're all gonna have our own corner of like
Things like our niches.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know it.
Yeah. Eventually,
Josh's is gonna be the
teen drama.
teen drama. I don't know what mine would be. I don't know. I'm sure there's something that Claudia's like, why do you watch that? It's gonna be
Yeah.
something random.
I gotta think
I
about
don't
it.
Yeah.
have to- what was the last? I still haven't watched anything. I still haven't found a new thing. But I was listening to someone talk a little bit about that Gen V, and it is like a little bit of a mix of that.
Oh,
it's
is it?
like because it's them going to the specialty school, so they're like students.
I'm
Like,
excited to see that.
I do want to. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be like The Boys, hopefully. So that's I'm definitely gonna watch that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
Yeah.
not. Next
That's
week
fun.
will be. We should have at least something else.
I'm sure. Yeah. So let's get into it. Dreams and Madness, directed by Geeta Patel, I think that's how her name's said, who she directed some episodes, a lot of TV, but including like House of the Dragon, some episodes of House of the Dragon,
Ooh, boy.
but then also like Superstore and Dead to Me. So like, and some other
I like all those shows.
yeah, but
Wow.
some other sitcoms and like so
Yeah.
Very
very
broad.
verse
Yeah.
director. She's done a bunch of stuff, and
I love the name of this episode too. That's such
It's
a
a
good
cool
name.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
and of course, written by our boy again, Dave Filoni.
The man. What if
So-
it's just like last episode
It's
written by
written by
someone
somebody
else? That'd be so weird. The finale.
Yeah. Random.
Yeah,
Unless it was written by George Lucas,
Yes.
actually, that would be insane.
That would-
And it was just kept on the DL. That would be crazy.
that would be insane. That would be insane.
That would be the only way I would approve of someone else writing one episode.
Switching.
Okay, Dave, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, just quick general thoughts of this episode. Did you like it? I like it. What-
Spoiler free first. We're doing it just okay.
I mean, it wasn't like one of those episodes that wows you like maybe some in the past have, but still important enough. And still fairly fast paced, I'd say. It was a good episode overall, but it's just really like gearing you up for what this finale is going to be. So excited about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of agree. It was, it was not didn't really progress the story much.
Mm-hmm.
Is what like kind of but had some cool action and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and a little bit more things I'll get into later. But yeah, then it's kind of like, okay, where are we going this last episode?
Right.
Which I guess we'll all speculate at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. It didn't move the plot forward as much as I thought it would, which is weird for like the penultimate episode.
Yep.
that would probably be my main like downside of the episode, because it's not one of my favorites. Like, especially because the last two have been so strong.
It's true.
Like even especially even the last one, how different it was, but like just how much they put into that episode of just new things that we hadn't seen before. And this one is, yeah, just like kind of only inching forward, not really, you know. And I'm like, unless the finale is going to be like really long, it's like we don't have much time to wrap this all up.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not gonna. I'm assuming there's gonna be a season 2, so I imagine not everything is gonna be just wrapped
Solved.
up in a bow, you know.
Yeah.
Or at least threaded through other things. Because I know
That's right. Yeah.
Jon Favreau, writing season 4 of The Mandalorian, said they had to write it in tandem with this one. Because of there was, so him and Dave were kind of
That's cool.
Because evidently, I guess they'll cross into more,
I didn't know that.
on this side. It hasn't, we haven't seen anything really from Mandalorian bleeding into the Ahsoka stuff, but other than she was in season 2, right, briefly. But anyway, so there might be some more of some things from this bleeding into like season 4 of Mandalorian is my guess, or something, or just Thrawn is part of it. I don't know, but
Yeah, but then that's still gonna be a ways away, because I think, weren't we talking about like what's gonna be the next Star Wars thing? It's like maybe the Acolyte,
well, I think it's what's the other one? The
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, I think, is next, then the Acolyte.
So even Mando's gonna be a
Season
ways.
4 is probably
yeah.
end of next year, probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, like this time next year, maybe
Okay.
maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than in between season 2 and 3. It was like 2.5 years. So it was crazy.
Yeah. And it might,
Sheesh.
because of the writer's strike, they might have just not been doing anything.
Yeah.
And then
That's true.
So it might have put a little bit damper on things moving forward. But
Yeah. Well, but besides that though, yeah, the episode, there was some really cool moments in it though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Just a lot to wrap up. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into a little breaking down the episode. So we open with Hera and the council, and they're getting, scrutinized for what she did and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We think of this scene, and
Oh, I love its own Coruscant. Like that's like I think the first shot, you see the outside
establishing shot of
Dude,
Coruscant.
I was already happy. I'm like, we're at Coruscant. This is cool.
I just don't understand why Mon Mothma doesn't like flex her leadership more. Like, she's obviously heading up this council. Why is she allowing this, I don't know what his name is, to speak out so harshly, especially because she obviously doesn't agree with what he has to say.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things where they don't say this, and I'm giving them like almost too much credit because I don't think the writing is good enough to like imply this. But at the same time, if you try to read between the lines, it's maybe there's like political reasons, like she's trying to, you just don't know what's going on.
Teeter the line.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going on from a universe
Yeah,
political stuff. But they don't, I mean, there's nothing that even alludes to that. Just knowing from previous other Star Wars stuff, and you just sometimes, I don't want to say it, but Andor, there's a lot more of that stuff kind of talked about. And so like, you just, which she's heavily in. And
did you say you didn't want to say it? It's like it's like a forbidden word now. It's Andor.
I don't want to get things started here.
No.
But yeah, so I agree with you though. It's weird. She's just like
she doesn't speak up.
letting him. Yeah. And she's kind of in charge,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, but then we get a great cameo.
We really do.
This was very surprising. Like right out the
We
bat.
were all sitting on the couch watching like, what?
Yeah.
What?
And
awesome.
I love that. So C-3PO, he actually says like, hey, General, because she's now a general, Leia Organa approves, this mission. So it's like, that's all that needs to be said at that point, because she's already that high up.
Yeah.
Because this is what we say. I know we talked about this when
she said she was the head of the Security Council or Defense Council, not Security.
Okay,
Defense
so I guess she's not.
So whatever this council is, we don't know because they don't give us a name. I don't think. But she's the head of the Defense Council, which so like if you were the head of defense for the U.S. or whatever, and you made a military call,
you would override that council.
Yeah. Then the
Yeah, I'm trying to think because obviously in the sequel trilogy is when you see her like at the top. But this is, I'm trying to remember because I think we talked about it when we first started Ahsoka, where it's at in the timeline. So this would be, it's about like past Return of the Jedi. I don't remember
Right.
what we,
It's like about 5 years. So
5 years.
I mean,
okay.
if because that's what they were saying with the Mandalorian,
Right.
and if this is going
all
to be
kind
kind of around the same
Mhm.
time as season 3 of the Mandalorian, I guess is what we're gonna get. Then and then of course the Mandalorian they're not like years there. It's
No.
like it's so it's probably about 5 years after
Okay.
Jedi. I think if
So it's still cool
roughly.
that she has that much say, Leia does, even though she's not all the way at the top yet. But yeah.
What's funny is when that guy slanders droids and Chopper all but takes his hoop earrings off. He's like, what's his face, like holds him back, like tells him to calm down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, that was great.
so funny. Almost comes over that table.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's basically the whole audience. Like, it's like you're going to slander C-3PO of all
I know.
droids.
Chopper, he was not having it. Absolutely not.
I did love that because I saw it on Twitter because Anthony Daniels posted about, like, I didn't know it was still him doing it. Because at this point, it's like you could have someone else in the suit, and they do so well with the voice thing now because they did it with Vader already. I just figured they would do that now, but I guess or maybe he was only in the suit, didn't do the voice. I'm not sure, but he just mentioned that he was involved in
I
it.
know he was involved. Yeah, because I saw stuff about it afterwards too. Yeah, and yeah, it's cool that he's still still.
It's awesome.
But I guess it's kind of like even in the behind the scenes of Book of Boba Fett, like Mark Hamill was there, but like they had someone else, right, that was doing
A stand, yeah, but I think a body
yeah. So
stand.
I mean, was he just like there to consult, or I don't know, like because he was there. I'm not sure what they
feel
do
like
with
they
it.
used his voice and then tried to like make him sound younger. So I
okay.
think he was still doing the voice, and then of course maybe they were doing the same. Maybe they're that's what I want, like recording him even facially and then de-aging him and then putting that on the other guy. Does that make sense? Because I know like it was a body double as far as like the body.
Yeah, I remember seeing the actor. Yeah, that was actually doing. Yeah, but yeah, so I was wondering how that is.
Yeah. So then after this, we get the title card, and then we go to Ahsoka. And
well, real quick, but
the
the name of the episode, I'm wondering what you guys think, like about dreams and madness. Like, what's that referring to? Because I'm not sure. I was thinking about it.
I mean, it's.
Or maybe it doesn't have a deeper meaning, but I feel like it should.
Right. Like, because most of them have had a more direct meaning.
Like the last one, especially far, far away,
Yeah,
right?
and you're like, okay, yeah, this is in a galaxy far, far away. But, yeah, I don't know. Because does it mean it's all a dream and this doesn't really happen? I don't think so. But, it's like.
Well, that's what's crazy is that technically, or maybe even part of it could be, because I know because of the, what are those? I always get them wrong because I always think they're the grandmothers. Is that what they're? Yeah. Like they can do a lot of crazy magic that could maybe shift people's perspective, like actually what they're seeing, which is crazy. So I don't know.
Maybe it's like implying the line where you have dreams when they turn into madness with what's his face and like the future he's trying to work towards.
Thrawn or Balin?
Balin.
Yeah,
because Balin like tells Shin Batty.
Shin Batty. Yeah.
Like they kind of separate at that moment before and you're like, is this guy like calculated or is he just crazy? Like, what are his intentions? Where is he heading towards?
Because he's seeking ultimate power, and we don't
know what that is.
Yeah.
So it could be implying that maybe the difference.
Yeah, because they split up, which is a little. I mean, we're jumping a little ahead on this.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
no, it's fine.
We're
It's
talking
fine.
about,
It's
the
fine.
name,
I was just,
yeah.
But he kind of he's got like alternative motives of doing something else. So like he's
right,
like, and you're like,
we really don't know exactly
like
what that looks like.
Then you kind of think back. You're like, was he all along like just helping them out to get there because he wants to get there for some other reason, and it has nothing to do with Thrawn or Ezra or any of those people. He's just it's a means to an
He's
end
on
for
his
him.
own mission
because he has something else he's going after. Which
yeah.
Seems to
some
be that
ancient
way.
something probably that's it's kind of weird the way they have it positioned. And again, these are the kind of things that because of maybe in the other material, whether animation or books or something, maybe they imply a little bit more. But this is obviously the first time I've seen because it's the first time in live action of anything of this other galaxy, right? But it's kind of portrayed as like not wanting to be there, like this is a crappy galaxy, like Thrawn wants to leave, and it's kind of like this desolate blah blah blah, and so it's like was this like originally where everybody was, and then they destroyed all the resources, kind of destroyed everything, and then eventually ended up moving and more into the galaxy we're familiar with Star Wars or something, like it kind of
that makes sense.
I don't know, it's just, but then because it talks about the ancient stuff that's there, and even the grandmothers or whatever and that stuff. So
because them that's where
their
they originally
but
and then they did move.
They all want to get out of there.
Exactly, and they did go to Dathomir. But I still think, because that's something we don't know for sure yet either, and I think I mentioned it the last pod, is it seems like at least the magic that they use, that green magic, seems like it's originated on this planet, but again, could have been from something that was already there before. I don't know, but...
And this a little bit jumping way ahead, but like, but like since we're talking about it, and then towards the end, and they're loading the stuff into that looks like a bunch of like almost coffins or whatever. That looks like they're loading into the ship that's all coming out of that temple.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And then, I mean, what is that? Like, are they trying to take them to the other galaxy so then they can like maybe resurrect them? I don't know. I'm just. But
that's
like,
what I figured too, because they do look like coffins.
And then we'll have the zombie something.
Yeah.
I'm a little unclear why are they called the grandmothers, the three witches?
Yeah.
Why are they serving Thrawn? What's the motive?
It again, yes, they don't really tell us, but I feel like it was in the, I guess, last episode, the first time we saw them, it was almost like implied he had done something for them, or is doing something for them, that they're in debt to him.
Okay.
And so then they're like, just like, yes, whatever you need.
Yeah.
But they don't tell us what that is.
They probably come into play with those coffins that you're talking about then.
Yeah, and what's crazy is the stormtrooper army too, like, it seems like they might be undead even, but I don't know. We don't know for sure. Because so far the one we know that was made of the magic was our mystery guy that I was hoping was Starkiller.
Yeah.
But he just went into green. So and I'm trying to think, did we see any of the stormtroopers die in this one? Did we see any green or
No.
I don't think
Didn't
so.
see any green.
No.
But also I don't know if any of them got stabbed with a lightsaber. Right. They were more just shot by.
So I guess
from
we
what
still
I
don't
saw,
know.
it was just they got shot.
Yes, they.
Yeah.
But yes, back to Ahsoka.
In
Huyang coming out of. Well, first she's watching like a video or something that Anakin recorded for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too, because
he made several for her before.
He did, yeah. This was the very last one.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah,
it
that's
says
what she said.
Yeah, before they separated, and I mean, it'd be cool. I don't think we're gonna get it, but it'd be cool to see all the other recordings that he made for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, let me see. I have something about this. Oh, what was cool was what Anakin mentions to her. Oh, so timeline-wise, I think when this was recorded, when he recorded this, was basically right before he heads to fight Dooku in... Was that episode 2 or 3?
2.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's where it is in the timeline, where he recorded this last one. And what's crazy is because, well, yeah, I guess this makes sense too, because he mentions, like, you'll face many threats. And he mentions General Grievous. He mentions Dooku. And then the best one that he mentions was Asajj Ventress.
Right, he does mention that.
And that's again, it's a Clone Wars character, but she's awesome. So she's actually became Dooku's apprentice, and she's kind of more of a Sith assassin. I think she's also comes from Dathomir, which is interesting because she's not the same race or species as Darth Maul, but I think they both come from that planet. But yeah, so she's just an awesome character that, like, just the fact that he mentioned her is great because that's another big one that a lot of people would love to see in live action. So it's cool that he mentioned her at least.
Yeah.
Although I think she dies at some point in the cartoon or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long she's around for, but she's an awesome character though.
But, it's not stopped them from bringing someone back before.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, you're right. So really, it doesn't matter.
Is anyone dead, really?
Yeah. When you have magic and technology and all the things to mix in that. But yeah.
Who's it that says that? No one's ever really gone? Does Luke say that? I feel like that was a Star Wars thing. But I think it was in the sequel. I think it was in the sequels, though.
I don't know.
Well, so yeah. If we got a bunch of comments, that would be everyone right there
typing right now.
There you go.
You idiot!
It's obviously this.
Yeah. So then they feel like they're like, hey, they're coming out of hyper speed or light speed or whatever. If it's called something different with the faster speed.
Ludicrous.
Yes.
Like we mentioned, ludicrous speed.
Oh, the mine scene.
Yeah.
So that's what's next.
Was
yeah.
So then it's like the mines, but it's also, I mean, it's funny because then it was just like, it didn't really actually, I guess, hurt any of the whales, but they just like, well, we better get out there. And then
they
like,
pieced
and
out.
then they're like, all right, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, see ya.
Yeah.
That sequence though was cool because just flying through it, like it was very classic
Visually
Star
cool,
Wars.
yeah.
Like it that's what it reminded me of. Just going through the minefield.
Yep.
Which they've done through this whole, because what was it, episode 3 or 4? With the long
yes. Trying to remember
space,
yeah.
Section.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which episode, but yeah, like that, we kept mentioning how much it felt like original Star Wars, and this was another one that felt like that too.
That was very cool. It was so then they dodge and they get fighters like after them, and so then she goes into the minefield, and then they kind of lose them, right? And then Thrawn,
they hide in the whale graveyard.
Yes.
For a little while.
Yes, but then I'm trying to remember now. How's he locates them somehow?
He has that device in the middle, right?
Was it the Eye of Sion?
Well, that's how he sends a shot from that.
Right.
Like, but before that, somehow he finds them.
That part I don't remember. I've only watched it once. I don't know.
Yeah. Because she starts then looking for Sabine, right? To sense her through the Force.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Yeah, she makes a connection.
Oh, they use the witches to find...
Yes, the witches come in.
The 3 witches.
Okay.
And they locate her.
The grandmothers.
Yeah.
And they locate her, and then once they locate her, then he shoots. But then she gets away, but then he's like, oh, part of my plan.
Yeah.
We'll be a step ahead of her no matter what she decides.
Yes, Thrawn's plan is really interesting in this, because he's like, basically like, we're buying ourselves time. Is that what he mentions?
Yeah, because
they're on their side, yeah.
Right, that's what he says.
On our side, he said,
yeah.
Because they're trying to load that stuff into the ship, as we were talking about. And I think that's all he cares about. And then he's out.
Then you leave, yeah.
He's like, I don't care if you leave. Everybody here, including Balin and Shin and even some of those stormtroopers he has, I'm sure he does. Like, it's just a minor casualty.
And then Shin kind of comes to that realization that they don't really care if she's left behind. Because then as soon as like the stormtroopers start to retreat and get on their ships to go back, she's like, and then she leaves also.
Yeah.
Well, that part, like close to the end, where Ahsoka like reaches her hand out to her, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And she thinks about it, but then we
know that
retreats.
she's been kind of
on
the fence about things, because we see hints of that in the last episode too, but we don't really know.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of stuff with Thrawn. Like we don't see him
Mhm.
a lot in this, and then so then we go to Balin and Shin tracking down Sabine and Ezra, right? And so they find them, and they well, then he says to Sabine, "You can go ahead." Not Sabine, Shin says to Shin, like, "You go ahead. I'm not going to be a part of this. You
Yeah.
can move up in the ranks
We're
or whatever."
parting ways now.
And that's where you're like, "Well, what's he doing?"
Right.
What is,
So I don't
Okay,
know.
so just
What's-
like that, it's over?
yeah. And then like in one episode, hopefully, otherwise I have to recast him because unfortunately the actor
Yeah.
passed. But it's like, is he? We're gonna find out what that was, or
That's one thing because I'm sure at the end we're gonna kind of do our predictions of what we think is gonna happen in the finale. But like that's one thing I'm worried about is that like we won't really know at the end of this season like what he was
Right.
what's
Well, I
his
think-
deal?
searching for.
it'll
Yeah.
probably be teased and that's it because they probably it's something they were setting up for something else. But
Now they're gonna have to figure out
recast him or not follow that story plot, right? Like one or the other.
which sucks because he's still. I think you guys agree too. Like he's still like the most interesting out of everyone. I think Balin.
Very, very cool character.
Like he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, both him and Shin because they're so mysterious. You don't know much about them still.
Yeah.
Like that's why when you see their scenes, there's usually some of the best scenes in the episodes because it's so
Yeah.
interesting. You finally get a little bit, like they mentioned, a little bit where they came from, but we still don't know much
Shin
at all.
is mysterious because Balin is mysterious, though.
Mhm.
Like Shin on her own, it's like you can kind of draw conclusions about her, but Balin, you just like genuinely have no clue what this guy's deal is.
Yeah, the only thing I do remember was it this episode or last episode. Thrawn calls him a general. So I guess he was pretty high up during the Clone Wars, but I don't know exactly what like on what side and what position. But yeah, he called him a general though, so that's interesting. He called him general. I don't know. It was general something he mentioned this episode, but yeah. So that's a little bit there, but he's a very mysterious character, so we still don't know much.
Yeah. So then we get a little bit before they kind of show up. We get a little bit of interaction, a little bit more Ezra Sabine action. Them just like talking, chit chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing. She still tells him nothing.
Yep.
I just don't like her.
Every,
I've said this before. I just
every
freaking
episode
don't
we're
like
like, we're waiting for her to be redeemed.
Waiting for her to
Yeah.
just tell the truth.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe accept responsibility,
mm.
even a little bit, like, but nothing. We're not
Nothing.
getting anything from her.
Oh,
She's gonna have to do something really awesome in this final episode.
I know. Or
for
just,
me to even care about her character anymore.
So then Shen and stormtroopers kind of attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then the little turtle guys create it's kind of like a western like wagon circle, right?
Yeah.
Like but with their it's kind of cool.
yeah, that
Cool
was.
idea.
Yeah.
And then the fight starts. So then she's like, "Hey, have your lightsaber." And he's like,
Mhm.
I don't need that thing."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I don't need that thing." And so then we have a fight.
The Force is my ally. Is
Yeah.
that what he says?
Mhm.
Something like that, yeah.
It's like we finally get to see some Force action, like some good
Yeah.
Force action.
It was cool, but still a little underwhelming because he doesn't use it or you don't see it that much.
Yeah.
Him using it, but it's still cool that
Yeah.
it's a new kind of
It was-
style.
It was kind of like you would think, the way you would think you would use it if you were, like it's like if you could do that, then
Yeah,
In like
fair
a
enough.
close
you could
combat
just be
type
like,
style.
and
Yeah.
then just
It's way more like a monk, right? Kind of what he's doing in
Yeah.
that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then
That's
there was
amazing.
this shot where he was holding
Oh,
Shen's
that's right.
Oh, that was
lightsaber,
awesome.
That
like
was
with his
cool.
hand.
Yeah. You could see the effect in
Yeah.
the saber
Yeah.
pushing back.
It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually gave up because he got a gun from one of the stormtroopers.
Oh, yeah.
to start shooting people. So,
Yeah.
but it was cool fight scene. Some cool stuff. She singes his hair
Oh yeah.
Shen does. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still think the best fight in this episode is the one-on-one with Balin and
Which is
and
coming up
Ahsoka.
next.
Oh, sorry, that's after. I thought that was before it.
No, because they engage down there, and then she
That's
shows
right.
up,
Okay.
and Balin's just watching, and she shows up and
Okay.
engages him,
Mm-hmm.
and
She jumps off the ship.
jumps out of the ship
yeah.
because the fighters are tracking her, and
Mm-hmm.
she jumps out. But yeah, so she jumps out, and then that fight scene was also very, very cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to elaborate on what you liked about it?
No, not really. I just because I guess we had one other fight with them one-on-one early on, but that one also was equally as cool because they did a bunch of different like stance changes and stuff, which was cool. But this one I liked because he mention something about like you can never beat me, or basically implying that he's like very powerful already. And I don't think Ahsoka disagrees with him too, which is interesting. So I'm not sure what's going on there with that. So if he's really already this powerful and he's trying to find an ultimate power, it's like, I don't know, man.
This
like,
man's gonna be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of scary to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But it was some cool imagery with that fight scene, especially like there was those shots where, again, looks like the old samurai movies and stuff, like a lot of those kind of shots. And
Definitely.
But yeah, it was a cool fight scene. And then she just pieces out when he says that, she's like, "Yeah, you're right." And then she just
Right, that's what she does.
She dips.
She did.
Also, another thing in that fight in particular, and this could have just been, what do you call it? Color grading. So I noticed just in this fight though, his lightsaber didn't look quite as orange. It looked a little more reddish. But in like early on, it was pretty orange.
Could be the TV we're watching on.
That's a good point.
That's also
okay.
true,
You know
yeah.
what? That's probably what it was.
We have
It's
to
a
go back
very
and watch it
different
on our
TV.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what it is.
Good old vacation TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vacation.
Hey, that
house.
one
At
was-
least
that
it was
one-
a Samsung.
And that was probably that's pretty good for a vacation TV.
I think that was the best vacation
Yeah,
TV we've
'cause they're
had,
normally
minus like
horrible.
the first big house we were in.
right. Yeah, normally they're just never upgrade their TVs from like
I don't
10
even
years
know
ago.
where they find. I was talking
I
about.
know.
Where do they find these? Because they're not even like ones you could buy now. They're like from like the cheap TV you could get 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this little
They probably bought it 10 years ago.
720p.
It's sad.
Like, where do they find these things? They probably cost more electricity to run them than to buy a different one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Replace
point.
it with a new one that doesn't, anyway, that's a side tangent.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, so then Ahsoka joins the fight that kind of turns the tide with
Shin.
Shen and the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
But then also Thrawn is like, "Oh, we're 80% complete. Call the troops back."
Yeah.
kinda
So then
thing.
they all just
So
leave.
they all leave anyway.
Yeah.
And then what you alluded to earlier, then she tries to so Ahsoka offers like kind of a helping hand to
Coax her into
to
joining
Shen,
their
saying,
side.
"Hey, you can come with us,"
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And so then she decides to run. So, and then we get the Sabine like, "Hey, I thought you were dead."
Yeah. Like, how did you find us, sort of thing. And then it brings me to this meme I saw that I shared on Facebook where it's like, Sabine's like, "How did you find us?" And Ahsoka's like, "Oh, it was easy, really. I just followed the scent of pure and utter betrayal." Which, I mean, we were all thinking.
It is weird that like Ahsoka just looks at her and just smiles and like that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's, because I would have punched her straight in her face.
But also
girl
it's-
on girl, woman to woman.
But also it's like Ahsoka's so like the other direction now.
I
Like
know.
she's like so peaceful no
She's
matter
Ahsoka
what.
the White now.
Yeah,
She's forgiving.
and it was awesome to see her and Ezra like meet again for like had been I don't know when they last saw each other, a very long time. So that was
Yeah.
cool. But again, then I guess right after that, then the episode just ends. Another weird
Ezra's
ending.
like, I guess we're
this
going
is a
home.
weird ending,
Yeah.
like you were talking about, and you and Lucas were talking about before. This is a very weird way to end it.
Yeah. Well, I said it. They write these three acts, and they just said that, especially when they're in the middle of an act, they're
Mhm.
just like, well, we got to cut it somewhere. This is where we'll cut it.
Here's better than anywhere.
And then you're like, well, it's the end of the fight. Let's end it here.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're just like hugging. It's like, oh, happily ever after. And then it's just like,
So-
I don't know,
Like
weird way
something
to
really
end it.
bad isn't about to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So with that, unless you have anything else specific to mention about the episode, what do we think this is going to happen here in this last episode?
Yeah. That's the only thing I still have down is just, yeah, like predictions for the finale. And also, again, which I asked last week too, is like, what really is calling Balin? Because I still think that's one of the most interesting things. Is like what he's
It's
seeking.
definitely
I
a
agree.
interesting mystery, right? Like,
Mhm.
'cause you kind of know what Thrawn's motives are. Now, we don't know what he's helping the grandmothers with, and if those are coffins that they look like coffins, but what those
Yeah,
are.
they do.
So there's a little bit of mystery there, but he's just trying to get back
Yep.
out of this galaxy and back to
Yeah.
the original galaxy for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, our leads or the good guys, whatever you want to call them, they're all just trying to stop him. But then, of course, they were trying to find Ezra. So if they found their friend, they just want to get back too. But Balin, yeah, he's like, I had other plans.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what are those?
I don't know. And that's why, like, because of the way they ended this, it's like there's a lot they got to wrap up, which I don't think they're going to be able to
So,
do.
I
all
feel
of it.
like we're really not going to end. I'm just trying to, there's not room for a real fight with Thrawn.
No.
So that's going to be pushed to
Yeah.
either Mandalorian season 4 or something else, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I guess it would have to be something else because there's still going to be some kind of fight.
You got to have some
Right. So maybe it is whatever Balin finds.
maybe. Because I mean, what if they start the next episode with Jen and the stormtroopers get back and they're like, yep, we're all loaded, and they just take off and they're gone with the
And Shin's left
with
behind.
the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
The Eye of Sion.
It's funny every time.
I know.
It's so ridiculous.
A lot of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're gone with it, and then it leaves all our rest of our main characters like stuck on this planet, right?
Yeah.
So then, is there some kind of whatever he's going for, and they have to fight Balin and his new power or attempt to get new power or whatever,
Mhm.
and then of course does that open, and then somehow maybe they use the world between worlds or whatever, and they end up getting back to,
Oh, yeah.
and then that's the end, right? Like Thrawn's back, and then of course maybe we get a shot of Hera being like, "I told you so."
Yeah.
Yes,
I would
to
love
other
that
guy,
scene.
to the-
Yeah.
to that guy.
That would be great.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of
I feel like Balin's demeanor, even around Thrawn, is unsettling because of how like calm and calculated his thought
Yeah.
processes are. That if they don't kill him off in the next episode, he has the potential to be something even bigger than Thrawn.
Yeah, depending on what he finds or, yeah.
What's going on.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
And who's going to take his place? Like if his story continues past this season, who's going to be Balin
Yeah.
in the next?
Yeah, who's they gonna cast?
Yeah, who are they going to cast?
I don't know. Who would be good for that? I'm trying to think of somebody. Something else you can write in who you think should play Balin if they
Yeah.
continue.
There you
If
go.
they continue
Yeah.
his character, who should take his place?
It's crazy though, because he's a good actor anyway. But like in this, I was like amazed how good of a performance.
This was his role for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough if they try to replace him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just a natural presence that he
Mhm.
brings
Oh, yeah.
to every scene he's in.
Yep.
just feel the weight of him
Mhm.
being there. Yeah. So any other thoughts?
Do we think? Because I have no idea, but do we think we're gonna see any more? I don't want to say cameos or just people we recognize in the finale. Like, because I predicted a while back, like, we're going to see Anakin again, and we do. I mean, as a hologram. Because I figure we'd see something, but I think that might be it for
I mean,
him.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think you're going to see him again in the last
I
episode.
feel like if Thrawn makes it back
Mhm.
and there is a fight, we'll see a lot of people. I would say.
Oh, if you actually see him back in
Right. Like maybe not even
the
in
main
this
galaxy.
season, but the next time if he
Mhm.
makes it back from this galaxy.
Well, I think he will.
And
At some point,
I'm pretty
yeah.
positive he's
'Cause-
going to do it.
I think they're using. They want to. They need somebody to be like this bigger threat that's gonna carry through multiple, even shows and movies and whatever. They can kind of like have.
Yeah.
So, I think
that story in itself is going to lead into more cameos, for lack of a better word. But I don't know. I don't know who.
Yeah, I don't know either.
As for this season, next episode, I don't know.
I mean, it's cool though that we can't really predict it. Like, it could
Yeah.
definitely go a lot of different ways, which is exciting to think about.
It is exciting.
But
Yeah.
also, I'm again kind of worried that we're not gonna find out as
Yeah.
much as we want to find out about certain things.
That's it, yeah. There's also no obvious because like sometimes you're building to something and you're like, oh, this is gonna be, and you kind of, even though you might not know exactly how it's gonna play out, you have an idea of like what's gonna be the main fight or whatever, or altercation.
Mm-hmm.
Altercation. But this, I feel like it's not even really, there's no like setup, right? Like it's kind of,
Sure.
I mean, yeah, yes, Thrawn's going to probably leave, but yeah, it's kind of odd. It's kind of open-ended, which means like, yeah, it's hard to predict anything because you can anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think how they would just like
Randomly
show up.
Slip him in.
I don't know. Because I guess what if Thrawn's destination is Mandalore?
Okay, yeah, I was thinking, yeah, I guess if they want to, like the end of this season, because they kind of do that sometimes, then tease season 4 of Mandalorian,
Yeah, possibly.
or
'Cause
something like that.
Also, what's his name in Mandalorian season 3? The guy that was on Mandalore, like the bad guy.
The guy on Mandalore?
He was there already, like they, like mining the armor, because he was making like new super stormtroopers.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I'm blank.
I know.
But yeah.
Jared, you know who this
In
is.
in the last season.
Yeah, just the most recent season, yes.
Because they made that super Mandalorian, like Iron Man type.
Oh, Moff Gideon.
Yes.
Moff Gideon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like who is he working for?
Well, yeah, he's the one that mentioned Thrawn.
Yeah.
So
So
at
like,
the end of that season.
so he's obviously doing something for Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
So then part of Mandalore must be part of Thrawn's plan.
Yeah, and also in that ending, they didn't really like. They were like, "Oh, Moff Gideon's dead," but no.
Yeah.
We didn't. I didn't see it
No.
with my own
I
eyes.
didn't
not
see
dead.
it, Bobby.
So
Exactly.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Yeah, he's no. So, yeah, pretty much everyone. Yeah, you're right about Star Wars. Pretty much everyone is still on the table.
Yeah.
Right? No one's ever really
When they
gone.
brought Darth Maul back.
Mhm.
It's pretty much, and then they bring the Emperor back, and then they bring,
Somehow
just like-
Palpatine has returned.
Yeah.
That's an actual line in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so anything goes,
Yeah.
pretty much,
Keep an open mind.
after death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it was a fun episode.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next
Yeah, the
week.
finale.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, because we're recording late. That's crazy how soon that is.
A couple
too.
days we
Yeah.
can watch it.
Mhm.
All right.
I hope it's long. I hope it's a long episode.
mean,
yeah,
I feel like it has
I have no
to be.
it
idea.
has to
how
be a
long it's
longer
gonna be.
episode, I hope, because otherwise they're not going to wrap anything up.
Mhm.
No.
No.
'Cause-
We're all just going to be left like,
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we thank you for watching and listening to this episode of Screen Time. We really appreciate your support. And if you'd like to rate and review and give us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, that would be awesome.
Do that.
And or like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to give us any feedback or your thoughts on things we mentioned earlier or anything on this episodes, you can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com. And you can keep up with us all on Instagram. I'm at jyoungbar on Instagram.
At Claudia Youngbar.
At Jared Youngbar.
All right. And with that, we will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.